Mega Man is an amazing franchise with tons of perfectly crafted levels spread out between every single Mega Man entry, but between you and me, some of these levels are better than others, and some of these levels are flat out bad. But that's why we're here today, to go over the worst level from every Mega Man game 1 through 11. Quick disclaimer before we get into things. As usual, everything I say is right and everything the comment section says is wrong, with the exception of my subscribers, of course. Alright, that's it. Let's get started. Mega Man 1 was the first Mega Man game ever created, which means we're more likely to end up with bad levels on account of the developers having no previous Mega Man making experience before making Mega Man 1. Lots of people say this is the worst Mega Man game, or at the very least the weakest entry in the series, but that's completely whack. We all know that's Mega Man 8. The Robot Master stages are all actually pretty decent for the most part. I have heard complaints about Iceman stage being too hard, but I think that stage is cool. Obviously, if you have the magnet beam, the stage is a piece of cake, but even without it, the stage really isn't as bad as it would seem like. Elecman stage can be a bit annoying with it being vertical and all, but the music and magnet beam make up for its shortcomings. I've seen a lot of hate for Gutsman stage during my time on the internet, but this is really just upsetting because Gutsman stage is really fun. Looking over at the Wily stages, we end up with a lot more controversial levels. Wily 1 is a fun stage, but it can be tedious if you're a Mega Man noob or something, and Wily 3, like I've said in a few videos in a row now, is just a hallway, so I mean, it can't be that bad. I've already established that Wily 4 is probably my favorite Mega Man 1 level, which means the worst stage must be Wily 2. This stage has single-handedly admitted me into the psych ward on numerous occasions, and despite being far too familiar with the treachery of this stage, I still have a hard time explaining exactly what's wrong with it. I mean, the quick refights certainly are not that bad, and the plain blue background isn't awful or anything, but every other part of the stage is insufferable. I hate those annoying helicopters, I hate those annoying bomb things that pop out of the holes, and by golly, I even hate the boss fight at the end of the stage, but I'm not considering boss fights, of course, for these entries, so I guess I shouldn't have even brought that up. Regardless of what exactly makes this stage so unbearable, it is blatantly the worst stage in Mega Man 1. Except for maybe Oil Man or Time Man stages, but those stages are so stupid I don't even consider them to be canon, which is why I did not discuss them. Mega Man 2 is a game so perfect that not a single pixel is misplaced throughout the entire adventure, which is going to make it difficult to find a lackluster level. I will go ahead and say I do not enjoy playing Woodman stage, but it's because I have PTSD from soft-locking that zip over and over again. This stage is actually very pretty and not a bad stage at all unless compared directly to the rest of Mega Man 2's stages. But I've got to say, the worst stage of the Robot Masters at least is Crash Man stage. I don't hate this level at all, and the music is actually great, but there's a lot left to be desired in this stage. The green pipes are kind of ugly, the platforms are annoying to sit through, and in case you didn't get enough of Electman's verticality in Mega Man 1, Crash Man stage has you covered. Thank you, Crash Man stage. That's exactly what I wanted in a Mega Man level. Yay. Getting hit by birds as eggs while I climb this ladder is just great. That's my favorite thing to do in Mega Man. But despite all the annoying parts of Crash Man stage, there is still one more clear outlier in this game, being the infamous Wily Stage 4. This purple pit of doom is complete AIDS. It sucks during casual play, it sucks during speedruns, and it even sucks when I have to go out and get gameplay for these stupid videos. There are some good parts of this stage, like it's purple, which I guess is a plus. There are also invisible floors, which is cool, I guess, but other than that, this stage is cheeks. You're always either boringly climbing up ladders, or boringly sitting on platforms, or boringly grinding weapon energy to beat the boss, which again, I'm not considering for this list, but it wouldn't change very much even if I did. When I used to speedrun this game, I'm pretty sure that every run that made it past Woodman stage ended here in Wily 4, or at the very least lost me like 5 minutes due to skill issues. This is also the kind of stage that's not too hard in the sense of it being difficult to complete, it's just hard to endure playing through such mediocrity after experiencing the perfection that is Mega Man 2. But I'm sure me and everyone else online has already ranted far too much about this stage to properly represent our collective pain, so just trust me when I say Wily 4 is the worst stage in Mega Man 2. Mega Man 3 has tons of unique and beautiful stage designs, with the singular exception of Hard Man stage. I guess this stage is supposed to be in the mountains or something, but I don't like it and I think it's ugly. Once you get past those dang bees, the stage design isn't horrible or anything, but none of the enemies are fun to deal with. This green jerk is a pain, these monkeys are a pain, these bulldozer driving freaks are a pain, and I've already complained about these stupid bees in another video. Even the music is fairly annoying in this stage, but despite all of that, I don't hate this stage as much as I find it annoying to complete. complete. The worst stage in Mega Man 3 has got to be one of the Doc Robot stages. The problem is figuring out which one. Now look, I do not hate the Doc Robot stages all that much, but I need to get revenge for my childhood self because I've probably spent thousands of hours of my life dying over and over on these stupid stages. The Doc Robot Shadow Man stage is actually my favorite of the bunch because the challenges it brings to the table seem a lot more fair and actually fun to deal with than the others. I like Sparkman's Doc Robot stage too, and I think the overall design of this stage might be my favorite of the Doc Robot stages, but that could just be due to Sparkman's stage having a really cool stage design to begin with. This means the worst stage for Mega Man 3 comes down to either Doc Robot Gemini Man or Doc Robot Needle Man. Both of these stages have been the bane of my existence for far too long, and both of these stages have two atrociously hard boss battles you have to deal with, which I'm still not considering for this entry, but one of these stages has bugs, which is Gemini Man's stage. Now look, this stage is certainly beautiful, and for some reason the platforming above water is actually easier in the Doc Robot version of the stage than in the original, but to be real with you guys for a second, I genuinely despise bugs. You already know I hate cockroaches, but the truth is, I hate all bugs and they freak me out. Gemini Man's stage, while beautiful, has a major infestation problem that makes my skin crawl whenever I try and complete this level, and I just can't handle it. Plus, Needleman's Doc Robot stage is at night, which is really cool, and it has the fun Rush Jet section, so I've got to give it to Doc Robot Gemini Man stage for being the worst stage in Mega Man 3. Though if I didn't hate bugs as much as I did, I may have picked Hard Man stage, but I guess we'll never know. Mega Man 4 has a surprising lack of genuinely bad stages, which is going to make this entry pretty hard, man. Darn it, I should have said that for Mega Man 3, what am I thinking? Every single castle level in this game is amazing, and I could play all of them on repeat for the rest of my life, which means the worst is going to be one of the Robot Master stages. The problem here is, well, most of these stages are actually great. In fact, the only stages that do not instantly stand out as great works of art are Drill Man and Toad Man stage. Now, I've said before that Drill Man stage freaks me out, and I think it's a combination of the music and everything being red, but I still enjoy playing the stage for the most part. Toad Man stage, on the other hand, is incredibly frustrating the entire way through, to the point where I'm convinced the Toad Man boss fight is a government psyop meant to make you forget about the horrid stage you just endured. Like, Drill Man stage is freaky for sure, but it's still fun, while Toad Man stage is just rage-inducing. You start outside in the rain with a gimmick that was later copied multiple times throughout the franchise, and if you manage to get down into Toad Man's sewers, you're greeted with two of the hardest mini-bosses in Mega Man history. Now, of course, these snails are not that bad, but the second one with the water pouring onto the ground is really easy to slip up and die on, which just adds even more frustration to this stupid stage. To be completely honest, I do still have fun on this stage like I do in every level in Mega Man 4, but when comparing Toadman's level to every other level, it becomes obvious that this is the worst level in Mega Man 4. But I do like Toadman. I think he's cute. Mega Man 5 is super fun and one of my favorite Mega Man games, but it does have Charge Man, so yeah, Charge Man stage is the worst. The stage isn't even all that bad, but I really hate Charge Man, and every other stage in Mega Man 5 is great, so yeah, frick you, Charge Man. Mega Man 6 is a very polished game without any stages so horrible they stand out. There is one stage in particular that my longtime subscribers will know I hate, but because the last entry was so short, I'm gonna try to go as long as possible without revealing it. The problem with that is most of the stages in Mega Man 6 are actually amazing, but you can see me talk about that in my last video. I think Centaur Man stage can be fairly annoying when compared to other stages, but there are enough cool features within the level to make up for it. Like, yeah, the water on the ceiling might be hard to deal with, but you'd be a dirty liar if you tried to say it wasn't cool, because it is cool. I mean, look, the water's on the ceiling. That's cool. What's not cool about water on the ceiling? Mr. X Stage 4 is another one that very slightly stands out as tedious at the very least, just with all the birds trying to anti-air you, but I enjoy this stage a good bit whenever I get the chance to play it. The rest of the castle stages are all great, which means I've gone long enough without telling the truth. The worst stage in Mega Man 6 is very obviously Plant Man stage. This stage was the final project ever worked on by the KGB, and it was meant as an endurance test for human sanity. Every aspect of this stage is meant to test your will to live. The music is bonkers. The jungle atmosphere is stressful. The enemies all strategically dodge your attacks while also having the perfect offensive coordination. Those jumps at the end of the stage have caused me many aneurysms, and worst of all, the stage isn't even that difficult. This is a very strange case of a stage that feels way harder than it actually is, which seems like it would be a good thing, but all that actually does is make it frustrating to play by yourself and annoying to try to explain to other people why you hate it. In all honesty, nowadays I've beaten Mega Man 6 probably over 100 times, so I don't have any trouble beating this stage or really any stage, but throughout my mini adventures of Mega Man 6, I've accumulated far too many mental illnesses specifically from this stage to ignore it in a video such as this, so yeah. Plant Man stage, while not being as bad as I may be exaggerating, is still the worst stage from Mega Man 6. So we've taken a good look at the NES games, but as you guys are well aware, these are some of the most highly held games on the platform, meaning when comparing them to games outside of the Mega Man franchise, even the worst levels are still playable and good in comparison, but this is no longer the case when looking at the later Mega Man games, which is something you guys need to keep in mind. I'm looking at you, Mega Man 8. Mega Man 7, the first game on the Super Nintendo, and the first game where Mega Man snaps and threatens to murder Dr. Wily. Wily does deserve it though, let's be real. Mega Man 7 stages in general are all really fun to play through, but a lot of them seem to have one or two annoying things that just can't be ignored. I really enjoy every Wily level in this game, so the worst stage is going to be among the Robot Master levels. Oh, I almost said Among Us, guys, did you hear that? I almost said Among Us. I love that game. In my opinion, I mean objectively, the three stages that stand out the most for being bad in this game are Burst Man, Junk Man, and Slash Man stage. Burst Man stage, of course, has underwater spikes, which we all love. Junk Man stage is full of cockroaches, which should be a crime against gamers, and Slash Man stage has stupid dinosaurs and bees. But it does have a forest fire where you can save beat, and I think that's really cool. Burst Man and Junk Man stages, on the other hand, don't have many redeeming qualities other than being easy. Like, I guess Junk Man stage changes a little bit after you beat Freeze Man, but it's not like the cockroaches ever go away. This is actually an extremely hard choice, but because I've already complained about bugs enough in the Mega Man 3 entry, I'm gonna go with Burst Man stage as the worst stage in Mega Man 7. Aside from the underwater spikes, this level just feels boring to wait through, and the only other gimmick other than underwater spikes is waiting for bombs to blow up, and you know how much us gamers love waiting for things to happen before we're able to play. I mean, some of my favorite Mega Man memories ever are sitting down doing nothing while I wait for a bomb in front of me to explode. It doesn't get much better than that. The worst stage in Mega Man 8 is all of them. Alright, on to Rockman and Forte. Alright, fine, I'll actually be serious, guys. I of course don't really hate Mega Man 8, but I do think a lot of the stages are pretty poopy. The worst for real, though, has got to be Tengu Man stage. While other stages in Mega Man 8 certainly have their frustrating aspects, Tengu Man stage has way too much auto-scroller for me to handle. I don't even hate auto-scrollers all that much, especially in Mega Man 8, but once you've already beaten Tengu Man stage even once, every time you play it for the rest of your life will feel like a chore that's slowly draining your life force. I guess this stage is pretty with the clouds in the background and everything, but this stage is the worst in Mega Man 8 because it's roughly just as fun as waiting inside of a doctor's office for an appointment that was supposed to be 15 minutes ago. And that's fun. We all know that's fun, right? Isn't it your favorite when your doctor is late? No? What the? Rockman and Forte is such a perfect game that none of its stages are bad, but since this video is about the worst level from every Mega Man game, there must still be a level that is at the very least less good than the others. King Stage 2 is certainly the most complained about stage in this game, but it's entirely due to difficulty and the weird checkpoints within the King stages. The actual stage itself, though, really is not that bad to deal with, and once you end up beating it, you'll feel like a Mega Man Pro player just like me and all my epic subscribers. Some people also say Dynamo stage is bad, but hey, that's not nice. I like that stage. How could anyone ever say that a stage I like is bad? That's completely ridiculous. I think Ground Man stage is fairly hard, but I enjoy that stage a lot actually. Plus, me and my dad beat that stage in the entire game when we were both Mega Man noobs, so you freaks on the internet have no excuse. If I'm being honest though, there is one stage in Rockman and Forte that stands out as the clear worst due to being similar to a stage from Mega Man 8, which is Magic Man stage. Now, Magic Man is an extremely cool boss and one of my favorite Robot Master designs ever, but completing the stage is an extremely unpleasant activity. The only reason it's so bad is because it copied the gimmick in Clown Man stage with all the little toys and stupid blocks and such, and of course, the second Rockman and Forte borrow something from Mega Man 8, the quality drops significantly. Who would have guessed? At least this stage is during the nighttime, which makes it at the very least cooler than Clown Man stage, but man, this stage is certainly the worst stage in Rockman and Forte. But if this stage was in Mega Man 8, it would probably end up being the best stage, since Mega Man 8 sucks. Mega Man 9 is a nearly perfect video game which is going to make choosing the worst stage a very precise and tricky exercise in discipline. whatever that means. Concrete Man stage used to be frustrating back when it was the only stage I was able to play in the free trial, but once you figure out the trick to dealing with those blue elephants, the stage really grows on you. Tornado Man stage does have a few annoying gimmicks, including those weird magnets and the return of Toad Man stage's rain, but again, once you get the hang of this level, it's really not that bad at all and ends up being super fun. Some people hate those chandelier things in Jewel Man stage, but I think both those things and this level is actually really fun. The Wily stages are all great too, and some of my favorite in the entire franchise, but Plug Man stage is one that just isn't that good. I mean, it's still fine. It is a level in a Mega Man game after all, so it can't be that bad. It's just really bland when compared to every other stage in Mega Man 9. Sure, there are block puzzles, I mean, everyone likes those, and the stage is purple, which is a plus, I guess, but going through this stage is just really boring. Not much happens at all until you run into the Shadow Mega Man, but they just turn your boredom into frustration, which is not a good substitution if I do say so myself. This is another stage that I do not hate playing in all honesty, but it's really just a downer to deal with after playing any other stage for Mega Man 9, which is why I'm going with Plug Man stage as the worst stage for Mega Man 9. Mega Man 10, or as I like to call it Mega Man 9 2, has an amazing multitude of stages camouflaging the ones doused in mediocrity. Sheep Man has a level I like to make fun of a lot, but this level is totally fine, it's just a little bit too easy. Also, Sheep Man is kind of a silly robot master considering Capcom very blatantly plagiarized the famous musician Sheepwave, who you guys should all check out if you've never heard of him before. The Wily stages in this game are all amazing once again, and with so many great and iconic Robot Master stages, we really only have Commando Man and Pump Man as culprits for the worst. Now, Pump Man stage is dull, gray, full of water physics, and just generally makes me depressed, but Commando Man stage has too much sand. And I hate sand! In all seriousness, I do enjoy both of these stages to an extent, but the worst has got to be Pump Man stage. As much as I hate sand, Commando Man stage can still be super fun to speedrun, but Pump Man stage is just full of crap. It even has New Metal, which I'm tired of both talking about and looking at, so Pump Man stage is the worst stage from Mega Man 10. Mega Man 11 is probably the most controversial of the classic Mega Man games. Well, other than Rockman and Forte, Mega Man Powered Up, Mega Man The Wily Wars, Mega Man Battle. While Mega Man 11 has a lot longer stages than the rest of the series, it seems to play it safe for the most part with the stage design. The Wily stages in this game, while few, are all very enjoyable and iconic, which means once again, the worst stage is going to be one of the Robot Master levels. Acid Man stage is probably one a lot of you guys are thinking I'm going to pick because I bully Acid Man stage all the time, but as usual, you guys would be wrong. Acid Man stage is certainly not my favorite, but it's very far from being the worst in the game. Bounce Man stage is one a lot of people seem to cry about, but I like Bounce Man stage a lot. Maybe it's just because I am a Mega Man expert and everyone else is a Mega Man noob, but this is literally a bouncy castle. Like, how do you not have fun in a bouncy castle? You've got to be going out of your way to not have fun. It's a bouncy castle. It's a bouncy castle in Mega Man, you freak. The worst stage in Mega Man 11 is certainly Impact Man stage. This entire level is just full of bullet hell style projectiles trying to knock you into bottomless pits, and I don't like it. The only redeeming quality in this entire level is the simple fact that Pickle Man makes a return. And while Pickle Man is certainly great, he can't carry an entire stage like this on his back, which is why Impact Man stage is still the worst stage from Mega Man 11. Those were the worst levels from every Mega Man game 1 through 11. I hope you guys enjoyed this video a lot more than I enjoyed playing those levels, because if you didn't, well, that would just suck for both of us. So, hopefully at least one of us enjoyed this experience. Otherwise, this is a complete waste of time, and I will be deleting my channel momentarily.